Hi, welcome to my channel. My name's Janice, and I'm here to talk a little bit more today about a multiple sclerosis symptom called Lhermitte's sign. Now, it's not specifically just an MS symptom, so if you're here investigating Lhermitte's sign, please don't assume that you have MS because it can be caused by other things as well. What Lhermitte's sign is a symptom that happens when you tilt your head forward with your chin down to your chest, and you get kind of this zap down your back. Sometimes it's more of a vibration feeling. Sometimes it's a really sharp, painful zap. And it can go down your back and into your extremities. So for me, it actually goes into my fingers and occasionally even into my feet. And it's very painful in my fingers. In fact, I think it is related to, I have ongoing permanent damage in my fingers. I have pain, numbness, and tingling all the time in my fingers and have had for many years now. So it gets worse when the Lhermitte sign is worse. But what I want to talk about is actually something hopeful and helpful and wonderful, and that is that in my research, I found somebody who had Lhermitte's sign. I didn't even know what it was called for the first couple of years that I had it, actually. It was a nurse that finally told me. And when I mentioned it to my family doctor, he even said, "Could you remind me what that is?" Because he wasn't even familiar with the term itself. So what I found was that another woman who's had MS for many years she started treating herself all naturally, and she used sublingual liquid B12, or even better, B complex, if you can find that. I have one that's a B complex and it's fantastic. And I'm not going to even mention it because it's not something I'm selling. I'm not associated with them or anything. I just find it was really useful. So when I read that, I thought, well, this is like a really easy way to experiment a little bit and see if I can help my symptom at all, because obviously the medical system has nothing to offer for this whatsoever. So I tried the B12. I found this sublingual B complex, and my family doctor was great in that I had to go for some blood tests anyway, so he included a B12 test, and sure enough, my B12 was low. So I started taking this stuff under my tongue every day, and a month or two later, I needed to go for some more blood tests for something, and so I asked if we could do another B12 just to see where I am. And it actually came back flagged as too high. That's how well it worked. Now, it's not dangerous if it's a little too high. It's not a big deal because you do kind of pee it out. So that just meant that I could relax a little bit and not maybe take it every single day. That was really the answer for me. After several years of having this every day, it was really a nuisance. It wasn't painful for me, except for occasionally in my fingers. But it was just more of a nuisance. But it was so nice to have it go away, after so long. What B12 does is it helps to heal your C-spine. And Lhermitte's sign in MS is caused by lesions in your C-spine. So if you can help settle that down and help even repair it, then the Lhermitte's sign should settle and maybe even go away. So mine went away for quite a few years. And then more recently, I hadn't been taking the B12. I couldn't find it for quite a long time with, limited stock right now because of everything going on. And I just hadn't really tried too hard to get it because I wasn't having that symptom anymore. But it did come back a little bit. Not too bad. And so finally did, thankfully, find some and started taking it. And oh, guess what? It's settled down again just from taking B12. So I just want to recommend that as your first course of action, because you're not going to get much help otherwise, and it's such a great healthy way to do it. It's good for you to heal your own body using nutrition. Isn't that great? Doesn't work for everything, I realize, but when you can do that for a symptom, especially if it's a painful symptom that you're really struggling with, it's awesome to find something natural that really helps. Another option that people do follow is doing the B12 shots, and it works for a lot of people, so I would say that I would definitely recommend that if you can afford it. But if you can, sublingual liquid B12, and I think liquid is a really important part of that factor, it works really well and it's very inexpensive. So that is something I would recommend. But if you have B12 shots available to you, you can afford them, you have someone who will do them, then that's a great option to pursue as well. I have to admit I've only ever had one B12 shot, and while it didn't give me any energy, and I wasn't having Lhermitte's sign at the time, so it wasn't helping that, what it did do is give me 3 nights of bad insomnia. So for me, I just decided that maybe wasn't the course that I want to take for my personal wacky nervous system. But if it works for you, that's awesome. So I just wanted to share that little bit of information for you if it's a symptom that you're struggling with. A lot of people don't know you can actually treat that naturally. It's not a guarantee, of course, and it depends on how much damage has already been done to your C-spine, because it's not going to absolutely fix everything. But it's worth a try. And even if you don't have MS and you're dealing with Lhermitte sign, it's worth a try because it might heal whatever else might be going on in your C-spine too, or at least help to settle it down. And that's definitely the goal. Thank you for watching. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel. God bless.